Hello, everyone. So let's take a look at NVIDIA, right? Let's take a look at NVIDIA Corporation. Let's understand if we could make some money out of these guys. But like I said all the time, there's two things you need to do. The first thing, you need to understand what these guys do. And the second thing is you need to understand the risks. But you need to understand what the company does first. Otherwise, if you hear, oh, NVIDIA, 200%, 1,000%, 300,000%, let's go and buy. Guys, no, this is not how you make money, right? Because you're just following the pathway. You need to do your homework. So let me help you do the homework, okay? So how we're going to do the homework? Let's take a look at the um, annual report. As you can see, I'm going to post it right next to me so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's a very nice annual report, all greeny. You could see the company's headquarters. The sum of all that NVIDIA doing will indeed create the next industrial revolution. This is from these guys here, right? This is from CNBC. Accelerate computing is sustainable computing. So what do they do? Well, what essentially they produce the chips that you need in order to run AI type of software. But it's a little more complicated than that, right? So let's try to see what is it that they do. Well, basically, NVIDIA is a pioneer of accelerated computing and is driving force of the new era. Besides, essentially, the guy made a bet. He went after the right chips, and it worked. And now, of course, everybody wants it. And he's ahead of everybody. This is what they produce. You see, these are chips that they produce. So understand what this is. What do we eat this stuff? Do we can we do anything with it? Yeah, you could use. These are computer super chips. These are the NVLink switch, the computer node, the HBCB 100. You don't need to understand. You don't need to understand exactly what the stuff is, but you need to kind of, can I eat the thing? Can I eat it? Can I drink it? No. Where does it go? Okay. So they basically have, as you could see here from our friends, they basically, this is a CIO, they basically have a comprehensive solution for the chips all the way to data centers at this point. Right, so it looks to me like they're basically doing from soup to nuts. They looks like they are vertically integrated. What does that mean? It means that, well, you make the stuff, and then you make the stuff that make the stuff, and you basically throughout the entire life of the product, you involve in all phases. It's like if you're making ice cream, right? How are you involved in the ice cream? I'm just putting the ice cream in the cup. It's not much money in that. Well, hold on. I make the ice cream and I sell it. Oh, there's money there. Well, hold on. I make the cup and then I make the ice cream and then I sell it. Even more money. I own the business. I own the store and I do everything vertically integrated. And obviously, ice cream is a lot simpler than making chips, but that's kind of the idea. That's what these guys appears to have done here. Accelerated computing starts with the most advanced processor and ends with AI factories. Solution from chip all the way to the data center is tailor-made for the generative AI revolution. So it looks like they're making something that is very complex, which is great because it's not easily replicable. If you're going to make ice cream, you go to the store, you know how to make ice cream. Here, you need to have the plants. You need to be integrated. You need to understand. You need to do it well. You need to have the market. So it looks like they've got this whole thing neatly done. Continued optimized software remain NVIDIA continuous software remains NVIDIA ace in the hole, right? And they keep in that. This year we rolled out a certain. This year you can see we rolled out a certain sensor. So without getting into great details as to what the hell this stuff does, it's fairly complex, and they are basically integrated. They're all over the place in this process. And of course, this process is AI, artificial intelligence. Everybody talks about it. Now, AI has been around for a long time, but this time around, it would appear that these guys have the hold on it. Why is this important? Because AI is going to be everywhere. What is AI? It's artificial intelligence. You've got cognitive and you have regenerative, right? There's this stuff, just tell me how many words and how many letter in this word versus, what should I be talking about? How do I cure people? Where do I go with it? it's huge. It could be everywhere. So they have the ecosystem. Let's not get too much into the weeds here. NVIDIA got great chips, and more importantly, they have an incredible ecosystem. This means that they are integrated. They've got the whole thing figured out, right? It says here that NVIDIA accelerated computer ecosystem is bringing AI to every enterprise. Every enterprise. The NVIDIA system spans nearly 5 million developers, 40,000 companies, more 1,600 generative AI. So their customer base is broad. It's very broad. Why is this good? This is excellent because one thing you don't want to be tied to one customer. You want lots and lots and lots of customers. And that's what they have, right? They have 300 libraries, 600 AI models, numerous 1,300 accelerated applications. They have more than 48 million downloads. So basically, they're everywhere. NVIDIA prescription for the future, transforming healthcare with AI. This is important. This is getting this a next window. Why? Because you go to the doctor. Doctor, I'm sick. What do you have? Well, I have a headache and and I'm sneezing. Okay, well, take this and let me know what happens. Basically, what the doctor does, right? They kind of trying to guesstimate what you have. But with AI, they could see all of the people that haven't ever been seen with a headache and a sneezing nose, and they tell you by probability what this potentially could be. Now, obviously, this is very simple, but it could also be very complex. The more data you have, the more complex it is. The doctor, at the end of the day, cannot know everything, right? NVIDIA is empowering the next area of drug recovery and advanced life and science. They're going to help. So now they're getting in healthcare. Is tapping to use generative AI to discover and develop new therapeutic. Generative AI essentially is the thing thinks for itself. Okay, it becomes quite interesting. As you could see, they're all into the healthcare as virtually the entire planet, and I wants to use this digital twin to crack the weather forecasting for good. They could be everywhere here. NVIDIA is tackling climate change because it could be everywhere. The air-powered weather forecasting allows to more accurately predict and track storm. Now, keep in mind that the way you predict stocks sometimes has a lot to do with the way they predict the weather. How do you know? How do you know that it's going to rain tomorrow? We don't have a plane flying around looking at where the cloud is and where it's going. No, it's kind of guesstimating as to where it thinks based on historical pattern where it's going to have what's going to happen next. Same way you look at a stock. There's a lot of similarity. Mandelbrot essentially predicted in his book that eventually the same techniques that I used to predict the weather could be applied to predict the stock. What else can we do here? Look at the world. Wow, beautiful picture. NVIDIA is a core leader in the automotive driving area. Obviously, we are doing the car business. It's a revolutionary transportation has developed an end-to-end platform from cloud to car to allow the automotive to develop AI in defined vehicle. Drive a core designed to optimize. And this year, every next generation Mercedes-Benz will include an NVIDIA software. So they're in business with Mercedes. That's a pretty car. Here we go. The age of humanoid robots. Be careful. That's the next step here. We're heading there very slowly but surely. It's fueling the next wave of AI robotics and industrial digitalization. Now, keep in mind, you know who else is involved in this, and that's something that we'll be looking at. It is Tesla. Tesla is looking into this stuff as well. As you can see, a bunch of nice-looking robots running around. NVIDIA Omniverse Cloud API will have digital twins for the new industrial revolution. They're getting into industrial as well. So they're everywhere. You gotta watch out here. These guys are gonna be everywhere. Ship, transportation. So basically the keyword is generative AI. is a defining of our time, working with the most dynamic companies in the world. So they have a great product that's everywhere, and they also have the ability to integrate it. They've got lots of customers, and the stuff that they're doing is extremely, extremely valuable. What else do they have here? Look at them walking around, and this is okay. The dawn, so essentially, this is kind of the strategy, right? The dawn of a new computing era is mystically upon us. Two transition are occurring: accelerated computing and generative AI. Well, you can't do it without the generative AI, transforming the computer industry and every other industry worldwide. So what are they doing? They're doing CPU scaling. The engine that has driven the computer has slowed. Software developers have turned the accelerating computing to keep pace with exponentially growing demand. The computing model pioneering NVIDIA has reached critical mass and has been adopted broadly as a path forward. Accelerated computing will modernize the world's $1 trillion. Two NVIDIA computer together cost $500,000. That's how much these things cost. Can replace 1,000 nodes and CPU server that cost 10 million for AI. For data centers that are budget or power limited, NVIDIA delivers an order of magnitude increase in throughput. We're talking about data centers. We are talking about when the cost of fundamental research like computing, new method, blah, 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 deep learning processes, mountain of data. In Alex, next, shock the artificial by winning by considerable margin the image and computer vision contest. Within a couple of years, every computer vision used deep learning will be AI. They're going to transform into data center scale. They're going to become an AI experts. Lots of stuff are happening. They're going to build a new ecosystem, as mentioned before. We're going to talk about AI supercomputers. Companies operate a new type of facility. So without really understanding all the details of what's happening here, but basically these people are everywhere and they're getting into everything. That is huge, right? New computing platform for new industrial revolution, accelerated computer reaches tipping point. And of course, we'll talk about the financials as well, because you could see that revenues are up, gross margins are up, earnings per share is up. That obviously helps the stock a lot. NVIDIA AI for industry and enterprises. Generative AI will transform every industry. Boom. Has already applied building several multi-billion vertical, gaming, healthcare, automotive. We are now bringing NVIDIA accelerated computing and AI to the enterprises. So they're literally changing the customers to say, hey, you need my product. Look what I'm doing for you. Now, the thing is, you probably don't understand everything that these guys are doing, right? It's very complex, but it is everywhere. They're going to obviously talk about healthcare. We're talking about gaming leadership. We're talking about automotive. We're talking about industrial. We're talking about chat GPT comment, robotic. This is the guy. And you notice he always wear a jacket. He never wears a suit. That's great. So they're everywhere. Now, the issue obviously is hopefully this guy sticks around because he's doing a great job. And that's the only issue that you have to be concerned about when something is doing so great. Anyway, let's take a look at the financial. Let's take a look at the financials because the financials are always important. So as obviously for 2024, revenues are up 126%, margins are up, income is up, earnings are up. I mean, the company is doing fantastic. The thing is, let's see where the money is actually coming from. Well, our platform addresses right now they have four large markets. They're making money in the data centers. This is where you basically, when you have, when you're generating, when you're on the internet, right? And these people, the data centers are the ones that are managing your website and things like that. It's in gaming, which is growing a lot. Professionalization, which is okay, and automotive, right? So obviously the data centers is the key to go at 217%. So they're diversified in their customer base, which is always good. Shareholder return is up, obviously. Proxy summary. Let's take a look at the financial because that is something that you always want to make sure that you're comfortable with. So let's take a look at the financials. What do I have here? Well, let's make it red. Okay, 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 okay. All right. So what do we have here? How much money these people make? Lots. All right. Nominee tenure 65. What do we have? Corporate governance highlights. Let's go all the way down and take a look at the financial. This is a usual mumbo jumbo. No, the 10K is interesting because it brings it all together for you. So what do we have? Let's see. We have board diversity, the board. How long has he been here? 1993. Okay. So he's been, he knows exactly what's going on here for quite some times already. All right, so let's go to the financials, because the financials is going to tell you exactly where we are. Now, I know they're doing great. That's not the point. What I'm trying to figure out is, how much more growth? Can they keep up the growth? That's the most important thing, because if they can keep up the growth, then they'll be able to keep up on everything, and financials should be much better. So we should get to the financial statements over here. The financial statements. Financial statement right here. Right here. Okay, revenues. Look at this. Wow. I mean, they were doing okay in 2022. They were doing okay in 2026. But look at this. Bam. What the heck happened here? Right? How do we go from 26 billion in revenue to 60 billion dollars of revenue in 1 year? Now, this is when you should have bought it right here, and you should have bought it here. Now, 60 billion, that's a lot. And as you could see also, their operating income shot up tremendously. That's a huge. I mean, this is it triples in size. So obviously, it's going to do a lot faster when it comes to. Now, in terms of cash, they have about $25 billion in cash, which is double what they are last year, but it's not a lot. But regardless of this, the cash flow. Wow, look at the cash operating from product, 28 billion in operating cash from operating activities. That's a lot. I mean, especially from this year, from 9 and 6. So that's gangbusters, you people, gangbusters. So can you tell us exactly what happened here? Let's see why sales went up. They have some operating leases. There's some revenues here. Let's see what else they've been doing. They almost have. I don't even think they have any debt coming up. They have some debt, corporate debt security, amortized cost. Let's see if we could see the amount of liabilities. Yeah, look at that, 23, 24. There's nothing due until it seems to be that's very. There's not a lot of liabilities over the years. So in terms of concern about the ability to pay back debt, I don't think that's an issue. What else do we have? The debt. Look, debt. They have about 2024. I mean, you have some debt. 2026. You have $1 billion here, $1 billion there. I mean, they have almost. They don't need the debt. They're making so much money. Now, what I want to know is because when this thing is doing so well, how fast and how quick it could do. That's what you have to worry about. You have to worry at some point that they may not be able to keep up, and that's the concern always with these companies, right? So what you want to do, the next thing you want to do, you want to take a look at the business, and you want to look at the financials when they explain to you what they do, and why did sales go up so much? Recruitment, diversity. Let's take a look.